Hello and welcome to Upbeat and Beyond. I'm Mary Kay Kuhrts, publisher of the Upbeat Reporter, and we have in our studio today Jimmy Lackey with Kids Inc. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
I've got some questions for you. First of all, I do know a little bit about Kids Inc. because both my grandchildren have played indoor soccer.
That's awesome.
And it's always been a wonderful experience. It's a well-run organization. This is a special year for Kids Inc. Tell me about that and how it got started and where you fit into the picture.
It is our 75th anniversary this year. Picture wartime, 1944. A lot of dads are in the military or off working at factories. Moms are at home, many of them raising kids on their own. At that particular time, a lot of rambunctious boys. And Cal Farley wanted to do something a little more productive for those kiddos, and so he asked his friend Bus Duggar to go to the PTA at Glenwood Elementary School in the fall of 1944 and make a pitch about starting a sports program in Southeast Amarillo.
That's cool.
And that's the premise of it. And Mr. Duggar went and made that pitch in October of 44. Walked in, saw a pretty piano player off to the left without a ring on her finger, asked if he could take his hat and put it on the top of her piano to be a gentleman. And he might have left that overnight on purpose. Made his pitch, went back the next morning to pick up that cap, and in March of 45 they were married.
Oh.
And on the first Monday of January 1945, he picked up 11 kids at Glenwood Elementary School and took them to the Maverick Club to play basketball with Mr. Dykeman's kids, and that's exactly how Kids Inc. got started.
Wow. So what sports do you have organized at Kids Inc.?
Well, let's just go calendar year because it's easiest for me to remember going around. We go girls basketball. We just finished it. We are in the first weekend, this past weekend, of club basketball. And then we'll move into our indoor recreational soccer leagues. Then we'll go to track and tennis. And then we will have our spring sports, and there's t-ball, coach pitch, spring soccer, spring volleyball, and spring outdoor flag football. And then come back in the fall and we'll do tackle football, another flag football session.
I didn't realize you did all that.
Volleyball again, cheerleading. Those will be in the fall, and then we finish up the year with boys basketball, another volleyball session, and another indoor soccer for kids. And then year-round, we have adult indoor leagues in our indoor facility, probably 55 to 60 teams every session. We do 5 sessions of adult soccer year-round.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's
There's
busy.
other locations as well as Amarillo too, right?
We are in 2 other locations at the present time. We have an office in Elk City, Oklahoma. We've been over there since we opened July 1st of 2015, and then we opened up in July of 2014 in Hereford. We consulted with a group over there to build an indoor soccer arena and got that up and running the summer of 2014, and then in March of 2017, almost 3 years ago, we took over the management and operations of the old YMCA operation over there. They dissolved and transferred all of their assets to our nonprofit. And so we now operate what's called Hereford Sports and Wellness, and we have a full fitness facility and sports programs over there, plus our indoor soccer arena. So, and then we might be talking to 1 or 2 other communities right now too.
Really?
So, stay tuned.
That's exciting. That's exciting. So I heard that you're going to have a mural painted on your building. Is that right?
We are. You know, anybody that's gone and watched that group and watched what they do, the Blank Spaces group over at Caprock High School, it's amazing. The talent. Yeah, they're so talented, and they're going to be doing that this spring. I haven't seen the first draft yet, but we kind of talked to them. We had a meeting with them, and we talked about kind of what we were thinking of spanning the time of Kids Inc. to kind of show a little bit of old and new in it. And so I'm thinking it may start old and kind of blend to new as it goes across the wall, but I'm leaving that to their creativity. We'll see a first draft here shortly. Planning on a spring actual execution of that project.
Now you're located at...
We're at 27th and Osage.
And so will it face Osage?
Yes, it will. Okay. It'll face straight out to Osage. It's one of the busiest streets in town because everybody's coming from the Loop, or they're coming in from Lake Tanglewood, or that
really
direction.
Call attention to your building too.
And the main post office is over there, and and Sam's. So, and it's off I-42, so it's a heavily trafficked facility, and we think it'll get a lot of views, and we're excited about it because it's just, we have our sign on the side of the wall, but to have something that depicts what our organization's been about all these years will be very nice to have, and the fact that kids are doing it kind of juices me up a little bit because they're so talented.
Absolutely.
They're so talented, and you can see their work around town.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And so, what's this about a book? Are you writing a book?
I'm not, but we've hired a company to do that, Archer Writing Services and Editing Services here in town. We contracted with them last May to produce a book, a historical perspective of the organization, and I've seen the first draft. It's incredible. They've done a great job. Ryan told us on day one when we signed the contract, he said, "I'll find things that y'all don't know about."
That's great.
And I've been there 25 years.
Coffee table book? Or?
Yes, it will. It'll be a leather-bound coffee table book.
Wow.
I've been there 25 years, and I thought I knew a lot. And the next day, he sent me a picture of Mr. Duggar and those first kids that I had never seen. And I was one of the executors of Mr. Duggar's estate. I went through his entire house and never saw pictures like that. And Mrs. Duggar was an immaculate picture collector, and she marked every picture they were took. So to have never seen that picture
really interesting.
Was impressive.
It'll be real interesting.
Yeah, we're excited.
Well, what do you have planned to celebrate the 70th?
Yeah, we are working with a couple of different audiences right now as far as speakers. We'd like to have a banquet sometime in the fall, kind of letting that be up to their schedule right now, and so we're trying to finalize those details, but we will have a year-end celebration. We had one during our 60th anniversary. It was huge. It was at the Civic Center. We had over 800 people come, and it's something that we'll make affordable. It's not one of these high-priced ticket deals. We want people to be there and enjoy hearing about the history of our organization. The book will be ready by then, and just have a fun time reminiscing about 75 years of an organization that served this community well, and maybe some other things along the way too, but that really will be the culminating event. At the end of the year, we'll have this function.
Well, and that's great. And Kids Inc. is going to be our cover story for the March 2020 edition of the Upbeat Reporter. So I'm excited to get that story.
Well, we appreciate y'all including us in that. And it's a big year for us, and anything that when they hired me, I asked them what they were doing for their 50th anniversary, and they just looked at me. They didn't realize it. And I ran an alumni association at a university that was all about tradition and history, and so I said, well, hire me, and when we turn 60, we'll do something big, and we did. And who knew that I was still going to be there when we're 75, and so we want to make it big because you don't want to be taken for granted, and buildings and people and things that are 75 years old get taken for granted. And so if you don't brand yourself and put yourself out there in front of the public and remind people that you're providing a good service, then they're going to forget about you.
Well, you help the whole community, and so that's what's important.
I tell people all the time, it doesn't have anything to do with me or our current staff or any one person involved. This is an organization that's community driven. It's Amarillo owned. It started here. We're not regionally or state affiliated or nationally affiliated. We're just a homegrown nonprofit organization here in town that has managed to stand the test of time for 75 years.
We do a great job.
Thank you very much.
My grandchildren appreciate it too.
Well, we appreciate their business. I'm just grateful that you give us this kind of time and give us time in the Upbeat Reporter and to tell our story. So we're grateful. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us on Upbeat and Beyond.